Hi guys, welcome to the Wrestling Retrospective, and in today's video I'm going to be doing my predictions for TNA Against All Odds 2025. So first up, I have Joe Hendry versus Frankie Kazarian in a feud just like Spitfire and Ash and Heather by Elegance. Never seems to end. Even like a year ago Against All Odds last year, these two had a singles match and they've been facing each other on and off for the past year. I don't get why we're doing this again. I'm really fed up with seeing Joe versus Frankie Kazarian. But for me, I'm going to go for Joe to get the win here because he needs to bounce back after the TNA World Title loss. It would make sense, if he kind of was the next challenger after Elijah, and he was the one that was in the match at Slammiversary. Who he faces, I will get to in a bit. But yeah, no, absolutely fed up with this feud by now. Really want Joe to feud with somebody else other than Frankie Kazarian. I also want Frankie Kazarian to go in and doing better things. He's a great heel on TNA. He just needs to find another babyface to feud with. But no, for me, I feel like it's very straightforward as far as a pick goes. But I'm going to go with Joe Hendry to get the win here because he needs to start getting those wins back to get towards the world title again. After that, we have Santino Marella versus Robert Stone, and the winner will receive the official. They will be the official TNA Director of Authority. For me, I'm going to go with Santino Marella to get the win here. Robert Stone and the heels of this feud, so Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford, feuding against Santino Marella and Ariana Grace. The heels have kind of had the advantage for the most part. Obviously, Tessa Blanchard beat Ariana Grace at Under Siege, and they had the mixed tag match, which I'm pretty sure the heels won as well, though I can't remember exactly. But yeah, for me, I feel like it's going to be a big babyface moment, and we're going to get Santino Marella defeat Robert Stone. Robert Stone will go back to NXT, and Santino Marella continue the great work he's doing in TNA. But yeah, not a match I'm particularly interested in. Very interesting the fact that like the comparisons of Robbie E in TNA and then Robert Stone in NXT and coming back into TNA is quite funny, because I feel like people don't realise or don't remember that Robert Stone is actually a former TNA World Tag Team Champion, a former either Legends Champion, King of the Mountain Champion, or Television Champion, depending on what era he won that belt. So yeah, I feel like people are kind of writing off Robert Stone as a wrestler already, even though he is actually a pretty good wrestler. It's just that he doesn't wrestle very often. But yeah, for me, it's going to be a big babyface win, and Santino Marella will continue being the Director of Authority. After that, we had Steve Maclin defending the International Championship against Mance Warner. And I feel like it's very predictable. I can't see Mance Warner winning the title here. I feel like they're going to keep the title on Maclin for a while. It doesn't feel like Mance is a massive threat to him, but I feel like the match is going to be very good. I feel like it's going to have the extreme elements that kind of suit Steve Maclin and Mance very well. But yeah, for me, very straightforward prediction. I can't see Steve Maclin losing the title quite yet, especially not to Mance Warner. I was a bit worried about it against Matt Cardona, but then Matt Cardona's not officially signed with TNA, I don't think, so then it kind of made sense that he didn't win. But no, I feel like the feud hasn't really been set up as a match where the title is particularly in jeopardy, so yeah, I'm going to go with Steve Maclin to retain here. Following that, we have Masha Slamovich defending the Knockouts Championship against Li Yingli. And Li Yingli, I didn't even know that before. But no, this is a match that they kind of set up Under Siege, but then they unset it up because Robert Stone didn't want to do it, but now they're having the match anyway, which of course makes perfect sense. But no, I feel like this is going to be one of the better matches of the night. I don't think it's quite going to be match of the night, but yeah, I feel like this is going to be a decent one. Do I think Lee is going to win the title? No, I don't. I feel like the title is going to be in much bigger jeopardy come the time that it does change hands, I guess. I don't know. It kind of feels like with it being a babyface versus babyface situation, I can't see them changing the title. I feel like Masha's going to have a decent match as she always does, but you know, stay as champion pretty much. Yeah, I feel like the person who is probably best inclined to win the Knockouts title is probably Tessa Blanchard. She's like the biggest heel in the company right now, and with Masha being one of the biggest babyface women on the roster, it would make sense that Tessa is the one that takes the title from her. But I assume they might do that at Slammiversary, but I'm not sure. But no, for me, it's Masha Slamovich to retain here. After that, we have the Nemeth brothers defending the World Tag Team Championships against the Rascals. And for me, I feel like this is probably going to be match of the night, you know, with Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth being pretty decent in ring, especially Nick. And then you've got the Rascals, who are arguably one of the better tag teams in wrestling right now. I really can't see how this match won't be the better one of the card. But no, I feel like the Nemeths are probably going to retain here. I can't see the Rascals being the ones to take the titles off them, though it wouldn't shock me, because when TNA want to go back into kind of the default tag team champions, the Rascals always seem to be the ones that have the titles. So I would like to see the Rascals as champions, but I can't see the Nemeths losing the titles quite yet. So for me, I'm going to go with the Nemeths to retain. And finally, and what I assume will be the main event, we have the very, not weird situation, but the bit of a situation around the TNA World Championship, which is of course because of NXT. And first, I'm going to do a prediction on NXT tonight, which I think Santana's going to win the title. I'm not sure. I just can't see them putting the title on Trick for very long. And yeah, with them just randomly making the title match for next week instead of making it for this event, it makes me feel like they're going to do a title change here and be like, because NXT last week was incredibly shocking as far as title wins go. It wouldn't shock me if they kind of went down the same line again this week. And yeah, with tonight on NXT with Mike Santana challenging Trick Williams for the world title, I feel like Santana's going to get the win here, and he will go on to Against All Odds to face Elijah. My prediction as far as this match goes is very simple. I can't see Elijah winning the title either which way, whether it's Trick or whether it's Mike Santana as champion. I can't see Elijah winning, so it's kind of like a bit of a cop-out answer, which is whoever the champion is, they're winning. Pretty much is my prediction for the show. But no, I feel like it'll be a decent match. Elijah's getting a lot better exposure over on TNA, which is great to see. But yeah, I can't see him winning the World Championship no matter who's champion. So those are my predictions for TNA Against All Odds 2025 this weekend. Do put down in the comments below your thoughts and predictions for the show, and also do subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs before SummerSlam, so do hit that subscribe button if you enjoy all wrestling content. There's all kinds of stuff coming up, of course, with Against All Odds this weekend, as well as Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank, with predictions for those shows coming up in the next couple of days as well. So do stick around for that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.